Good evening, everyone. This is the Carver Conservation Commission meeting for June 7th, 2017. We have a few hearings tonight and a few continued hearings and a few appointments. The first appointment that we have this evening is with Pine Ridge residents regarding maintenance of the Pine Ridge bog. Are there representatives here? Could you sign in, please?
I did sign in.
You did? Great.
Yes. Good evening.
Hi.
I can tell you have a lot of questions. I hope I have some answers.
Or do you want to briefly describe?
I'll try to describe the situation. The cranberry bogs, there are 3 cranberry bogs on the property. One is farmed by Makepeace. The other 2, second one, the smallest of the 3, is not farmed at all. It's been allowed to be reclaimed by the forest. We have a middle-sized bog which is located on top of our water supply, our well system. So it has been deemed unfarmable. Not being able to farm because of pesticides or fertilizing material that would contaminate the well water.
Okay.
But the residents have been trying to get approval to not farm the bog, but to maintain it, to create it, keep the appearance of the cranberry bog. And in order to do that, we need permission from the town and Carver Conservation Commission to allow this to go forward. We did have an issue maybe 4 years ago when we had John Dello Pascroli. He's the leaseholder. This is a very confusing situation. He owns the lease rights to the bogs. But the property belongs to the condominium association. And 4 years ago, he had someone come in with equipment and mowed the bogs because it was getting overgrown with small maple trees and such. And when that was done, the effect of the work was very appealing and pleasing to the eye, and we'd like to continue maintain doing that. Makepeace may even volunteer to do the work for us. Of course, we'd have to pay, I'm sure. Don't get anything for nothing, but at this point, 4 years ago when we did this, Sarah Hewins was on the commission, and we kind of got permission, but we never got written or authority to do this. And it was kind of let go since then. But now that we're being built out, we're only 9 units at the time. That's being built out to the full 29 complement. And we'd like to open this plea for
Do you know
allowing us
if
to do the maintenance.
Do you know if when the bog that is over your well was sort of decommissioned, did that remove that from being zoned as agricultural? Do you know?
It would have to be after 2003, maybe 2005.
All right. The only reason we ask is that, if it's still zoned as agricultural, as being an agricultural piece of property, you're basically, and being the owners, you're basically allowed to maintain it. And that would include, cutting down trees that are growing up within it, maintaining the banks, and maintaining the canals within it.
No one ever told us that.
Well,
They
it would still
always
have
said,
to be agricultural, zoned as agricultural.
It might not be if they took it out.
It might not be.
There's a lot of controversy as to whether it was a upland bog or a lowland bog, and it was determined to be an upland bog, which is positive. This was Sarah and Brian Wick of the Cranberry Growers, Cape Cod Cranberry Association, both deemed it as an upland bog. Because at that time, we had talked to Don Fernandez. We were thinking about, what's the word? I'm searching for a word. organic farm
Right,
the bog.
right.
And so we were considering that at the time, and it seemed to be too much of a challenge for us. And Don Fernandez said it would take you 5 years to have it approved for organic cranberry growth.
Right.
So it kind of just fell to the wayside because we've had a lot of issues through the years. But,
All right, well, we did visit it.
Yep.
We did visit the bog, and we saw what you were talking about in regards to the fact that trees are starting to grow up in it and small shrubs. And it really is, it's kind of, it's certainly not a producing bog any longer. So,
Especially if it's an upland bog, too. I mean, that's
Right.
a little different, too. It wouldn't be, you wouldn't have, well, you've got some cranberries in there, but it really wouldn't have, you wouldn't have anything else unless you.
It still produces berries, but they're very small because
Right.
they're not being given anything to help them.
okay. You said that Makepeace may offer or be contracted to maintain it?
Well, we've attempted to get them to do this for us, and it seems like they may be more willing to do it for us now. They have the equipment, and they could take care of this for us. And,
All right.
if not, we would, find someone who is qualified to do it. And,
So I just want to make myself clear. Are you going towards more cranberries or letting to just regrow? Did you want it,
No, we
said
don't want
you
to, we don't want to generate cranberry growth. We want to just keep the appearance of the bog. As my,
Because eventually the cranberries will be overrun, and you'll have
Eventually, yeah,
something.
especially if it's an
well,
upland.
someone would have to go in and weed occasionally and
Oh, okay, so you do
remove
want to,
the weed and
Yeah, you just want to keep.
allow the
track.
cranberries to flourish.
okay. so you
Even
will
though they
make-
haven't been watered with a watering system for almost 10 years now, they still produce berries and the
Yeah.
vines are healthy. So,
Okay.
So they just want to keep it.
Yeah, they can weed it
attractive
and just, yeah.
Yeah, you want to,
Alright.
it's more for aesthetics, just to keep it
Aesthetics, and-
looking nice and,
to clean the channels out, the canals,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
mow
we
the
noticed.
banks.
we did notice the channels were very full.
And,
And I'm sure after this spring, it's full of
Yeah, they're-
mosquitoes as well.
yeah.
So, is there any,
I mean, we could put something in writing, we could put something in writing to you if you.
That would
said
be-
something was.
Something to the trustees at the condominium association, so we have some legal
Yeah,
basis to,
all right, so should we make a motion
yeah.
to allow the trustees of Pine Ridge to maintain the appearance of the bog and in question and allow for cutting of trees that
Yep.
that are starting to crop up and brush.
that's,
All right, can we get a motion?
thank you, that's excellent, thank you so much.
All right, I'll make a motion to the following.
We have a second?
Second?
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we allow the trustees of Pine Ridge at Sampson's Pond to maintain for aesthetic reasons the bog adjacent to the condominiums between the buildings and Sampson's Pond on the north side of the condominiums. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No? All right, it's passed. Discussion, anyone? No. All right, and then it's passed unanimously.
Okay, thank you.
All right? Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
There's one other thing that the commission just want to make sure that when we were there for the site visit and talking about the access points to Sampson's Pond.
The two beach areas you're talking
The
about.
dock.
The
that
dock.
The dock area?
Yes, we just want to make sure that that what we had discussed, or what we'd listened to, is that you were going to put the dock the seasonal dock coming out from the shoreline where there was already an existing Z-shaped path down to the shoreline,
Yeah.
and there were already cinder blocks in the water
Yes.
at that position. That's what you were going to do.
That's the exact location.
Okay.
It will go. It hasn't, the dock has not been delivered as of this
Right.
today, and I'm not sure, I'm not involved in that, but I'll mention it to trustees to inform you when.
Brenda said maybe Monday, so
Brenda.
she was gonna let me know.
Okay, so Brenda's on top of that.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're
All right.
just talking just because we just wanna make sure there was that one spot that was beyond the main beach, but that nothing else was gonna be done,
Yeah.
but the,
Originally, it was, you suggested it could be on the main beach, but then you saw the other site and thought that would be preferable. And that's agreeable to the people who have boats, Brenda and Mr., yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Mr. Lawrence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought the original one was
Mm.
preferable.
And also that we had looked at an area there where you were going to rake the dead leaves off the lake bottom to uncover the sand that is there, a little bit further south, almost at the end of where the main block of condominiums is, equal to that. And, is that correct?
That's correct.
And that there would be no disturbing of the shoreline itself, no importation of any kind of sand, and that there were trees that were identified and pictures taken, and
Yes.
those have to remain.
Measurements taken,
as is.
pictures taken.
Right.
There were some very low branches, one or two, that you said could be
Right.
removed.
Yes, and also there were trees that were dead
Yeah.
in between the
Yeah.
that were higher.
the buildings and the water that we
And
gave
one
you.
other concession you gave us, that we could bring sand from the pond onto the beach, but not
Yes.
import, not bring sand.
Yes, you can
from
rake
outside.
sand up onto the shoreline, or wait for another drought and it'll be there naturally.
Wait for another drought.
All right, I think that clears everything up.
Thank you. You know how
Alex,
to
any
contact me
questions?
if you have any
Yeah.
other questions.
Talk to Brenda on Monday. probably.
Okay, good.
Okay, thank you,
Thanks a
Bob.
lot.
Okay.
Take care, everybody. Bye.
Is it just gonna be a letter to him?
Yes, it will be you'll write a letter.
Yeah,
Yeah, Alex was asking how to memorialize what we agreed
I
with.
mean, we could, theoretically, we could have made it viable.
All right,
So the reason they're doing it, and it is nothing wrong, I didn't even realize that. I don't think I ever said that. That's probably why me did the channels.
all right, we have other business, but it's 7:15, so let's move on to the hearings. Our first hearing tonight is 1 Crow's Nest Road. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw that a public hearing will be held at 7:15 PM on Wednesday, June 7th, 2017, in Meeting Room 1 at the Carver Town Hall to hear the notice of intent submitted by the applicant Kevin Perkins for the proposed construction of a single-family dwelling with associated driveway, septic system, grading, and utilities. The work will occur within 100 feet of an isolated vegetated wetland, parentheses drainage basin easement. The proposed work is outside the 65-foot buffer protected under the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw. The project is located at 1 Crow's Nest Road, Carver, Massachusetts, map 22, lot 34. All interested parties are invited to attend.
Hi, my name is Kevin Flaherty, and I represent Kevin Perkins, and I'm from Flaherty and Stefani. So just to start with, this is what we're going to show you first. This is what was previously approved, and this is the plan that we pulled from the building department to show where the house was. So just to give you kind of a history, this is a drainage easement, also bordering kind of isolated wetland down there that flows from, there's a drainage manhole and a pipe that runs all the way down here. So the previous applicant proposed to put their house, pretty close, as you can see, to where the wetland line is. This was before, a lot of different regulations and everything else, but this is kind of what was previously approved by the building department. So this is where we are now.
And just let me mention too, that's the one that you requested the COC on, so that we're gonna issue
Yes,
tonight
okay.
for the old file, that nothing was ever done.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so nothing was ever done, right, on this property,
Yeah.
just as you, thank
So
you
you just
for-
wanna, we're just gonna close that one out before you.
Okay.
do this one.
So this is what, our client, Kevin Perkins, is proposing. As you can see, we've pushed the house as far away as we could from the drainage easement isolated wetland to where zoning would allow us to. We have to hold a 30-foot setback from this property line. So what we have is, we have the contours, as if you've seen the property, which you have, are pretty
Yes.
difficult,
Yes,
to say the least.
it's difficult to walk.
So we have sort of an elevated driveway here with steps down to a lower house. And then we also have a walkout on the back to kind of work the best we can with the contours that are out there.
Mhm.
So there's not, in the backyard, it's, we have to bring a lot less fill in as if it was we don't want some big retaining wall or anything like that out back. So we try to keep all the walls and everything else down as much as possible. We're showing kind of a wing wall here at 4
Yep.
feet high. We have a little bit of a wall here to catch the contours. And all of this work will be done outside the 65-foot buffer.
Okay,
And as you can see here, we have a kind of a silt sock, one of those sediment filter mitts that runs almost right along the 65-foot buffer for any sort of erosion that would go down that way.
yes, we were at the property today and saw the markers.
Right.
So we saw.
Easier
where-
to see it. We thought visually you could kind of picture a little bit,
Yeah. Well, when we first went there last week, we had,
Somebody, we're like, where's the house gonna
Right.
go?
So, we have our proposed septic system in this back corner, keeping our separation from the well, which will go up kind of closer towards the front of the street. And I think that's,
Just out of curiosity, the little shed and stuff in the back, in the garden,
yes.
that's off the property?
That is, so
off
this, the property adjacent to us.
Right,
kind of
okay.
goes and has an
That's
angle point
what
back
I'm
here
saying.
off the,
It curves
off the
around.
That's what we
so-
sort of thought, okay.
So this person owns
Yeah.
behind the lot as well.
That's what I thought, okay.
where is your well going? Oh, I see.
The well is gonna go up front, just to kind of keep the separation,
I see it.
carbon regulations.
Oh,
Isn't it?
What's that?
is it on the
Right by the
right-hand
street.
corner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a two-story house from the street?
Yeah, you're probably only gonna have about 1.5 stories
Okay,
above grade, really. I mean, above the street elevation, because it's down, about 10 feet.
Who's asking if it is a two-story house? It's like it's a
colonial,
two-story
yeah.
house with a walkout up.
with yeah, so that's like
Right.
a basement floor.
Basement floor
then
with a walkout.
two
Then
floors.
Kind
Two
of,
stories, correct,
again,
yeah.
just,
Okay.
where we can make the grades work in that back right corner.
Okay. All right, now Brooke, about a little less than half of this house goes through the 100 feet.
Yeah.
Is that not a
Well,
concern?
not so much, it's, they wouldn't need a variance for any of
Right.
that. Typically we allow, structures and things like that within the hundreds, the 65 pretty much that,
Is a no-touch.
is the,
Which is a lot different than the old plan.
yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And, I had the old one on here before,
was
but it was too
2004
close. I didn't want
or
any sort of,
2004, I think?
yeah, 2004. He said pull 2006, but I think the
Oh.
plan was,
Yeah.
done around that
Yeah.
time, correct?
So technically, it's a corner lot, because this is Tremont Street, right?
Yes.
Because I was just wondering your well compared to where the next guy's septic is, but you don't.
Oh,
know,
it's where,
right?
yeah,
you don't
it's
know.
just got the street,
It's got the street,
yeah.
but not part of my problem. Good. All right.
All right, well, we walked the site, we didn't see anything out of the ordinary. It's
Fine,
it's
your
it's
property.
a tough layout.
Yeah,
I mean, there's,
I think the only thing is the erosion.
yeah, we noticed that there's,
From
there's,
the last couple rainstorms.
yes,
Right.
Yeah.
quite a bit of
We're
erosion, so
gonna have
that's something that's gonna
problem.
have to be
Addressed.
Well, you're
addressed.
probably
but-
gonna have to raise that up a little bit anyway, right, for the.
So this,
Yeah.
this driveway is gonna be raised up, which
Yeah.
will,
No, I meant the right side, facing the house, the right side.
Yeah, the
coming down the slope.
the path
here.
heading down towards the wetland
Oh, in the back, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, we're
That's
gonna
where,
have
like,
to-
that back left corner.
There's a path that looks like somebody uses it for dirt bikes and stuff. It's kinda right in that area.
But like, once you
Right, right.
start opening and doing that, it's gonna be a mess.
Right,
That hill's gonna be a challenge to
just stabilize.
regrowth and
Yeah, it
stabilize.
will.
Do you have any
It will be.
plans for that?
We don't have any planting
see
plans
any,
at times. You know, they probably should leave all the erosion control stuff up as, you know, as long as possible to, you know, prevent any sort of wash down towards
Right.
the isolated wetland.
What would you suggest for something on a hill like that, that's gonna have major erosion, if it doesn't settle in?
Well, I mean, you would.
Leave the socks in, or layer
Well,
the socks?
yeah, yeah,
Um,
and maybe, well, I suppose when you finish building the house, you'd probably wanna, you're gonna put some kind of, you know, wanna seed it and
Oh, yeah.
Right,
maybe some shrubs or.
right. And the grade will probably have to be shifted around a
Right,
little
that's what
bit,
I'm
just to,
thinking.
you know, so it's, the
Right.
backyard is not a
Right, it won't be so
ski
steep.
slope,
Yeah,
so. But that's a good point, at construction,
Yeah.
there'll have to be kind of some stabilized, you
Yeah.
know,
Hmm.
especially depending on the year, the type of, time of
Yeah.
year that we do construction.
And the fill won't go past the 65?
No.
Like, how much
No.
fill is gonna go in on that right-hand side?
Go back here, so we have a walkout elevation of a one
see,
forty-one.
they're changing
Yeah.
the contour, right?
Yep.
That's not proposed.
So
Right
that,
here.
on that side is gonna be pretty steep, it's
Yeah.
gonna go down, but we're not, like I said, we have a little wall here to catch any, you know, cause the grading just was a little tight around that corner.
Right, do
We
you think
didn't wanna
that
get
wall's
into
gonna
it.
be sufficient enough?
And then this is gonna be a pretty steep slope coming out of that
Yeah.
walkout.
That's the only thing I'm worried about on the plans here,
Yeah, that drops down.
is that you might have issues. But,
Yeah, well, you know, the wall, I wouldn't say that the wall would have to be extended, it works with grading, it does work with kind of a steep pitch down that way, but,
okay,
um,
all I suggest is to stabilize that as soon as you
Mm-hmm.
can.
right.
Yeah, it's steep. I mean,
Yeah.
it's dropping
Mm.
10 feet out of,
Yeah.
in 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Steep slope.
that's it.
And then we talked about for the erosion controls, maybe instead of just silt socks, maybe could you do like a silt fence and silt sock? Just because it is
Yeah,
so steep.
I would think that would
You
be,
know, like the silt fence and then the silt sock in front, or
yeah.
Yeah.
whatever you think would be.
I would think that would
like
be,
a double.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's erosion already because there's nothing there, and
Right.
and that
Right.
path that had been used as a dirt bike, you know, all that was loose soil, and it changed even between the two visits that we made.
right.
Because we'd had a lot of rain,
Right.
yeah.
and it was noticeable.
Yeah, so I think, again, I think that's a good
Mm.
point to
Right.
kind of beef up a little bit that.
Other than that, I'm good.
All right.
Oh, and then we also, would you, conservation posts?
At the,
Along the 65?
some wooden posts.
Yeah, with the little signs on them, that
The same
says no
concept.
activity beyond, yeah, we've been kind of requiring that for new,
A couple or 1,000?
no, like 8.
Wooden fence.
I mean, you put them,
Spacing.
but just for,
What
say,
kind of spacing?
oh, like 20 feet.
20, 30
Might
feet.
not even need 8,
Not even 20 feet. I mean, I would think more.
Every 20 feet?
yeah. Just across that, you know, where your house is. This basically is so, if, like, say you move and you sell the house, and the person who moves in doesn't know that there's wetlands there. It's kind of one of the, you know, a little,
Where
just
that's,
not requiring that.
where that's really the only side yard, could we reduce a couple maybe to kind of not ruin the whole view of it?
Oh, no, Brooke's talking about
Oh,
like
just-
low, we're not talking about
Oh, we're not talking about big,
a big
huge posts.
post. We're talking about, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you've seen a conservation site before, that, you know, there's those little, you know, come out of the
How
ground,
high
2.5
would they
feet,
be?
3 feet.
Oh,
Black.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
yeah, yeah.
Wouldn't-
No, I was envisioning like
No.
sometimes they require
No,
PVC
I-
posts 2 feet high, you know? Okay, okay. No, that's,
No, something much smaller,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
but
that's-
I think he'd be okay with it.
yeah,
sure.
that's fine, that's fine.
Yeah.
And it's really just to delineate where the line is. It
Right.
doesn't have to be in the
Just
middle
to
of your
establish
lawn
it
or.
and show where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
All right.
I want it lit up and,
Yeah.
Yeah, the lights at night won't bother you.
No activity.
no activity.
All right, any other questions on this? You good?
All right.
Is there any
Oh, yes, neighbors or,
neighbors, abutters, anyone
This is for Crow's Nest? Yep. Oh, okay.
All right.
Come on up. Did they sign in?
Yeah.
Did you two, I need you two to sign, and then we'll bring the other.
If they have anything.
Oh, and also,
Yes, they're right here.
Okay, so we're not issuing our variance, we're issuing.
no variance, just, that's, it's an order condition. So they don't need variances, not within the 60.
Would you like to come up?
We do have some questions. My husband's not full-time. I don't know.
Do you want the certified mail as well?
My voice is coming in the door in a minute.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it's
just so, yeah.
Just go pull that up.
All right,
We're butters.
okay,
I tried to build on this property 25 years ago.
all right. I'd like you to sign in, please.
Okay, sure. Where are my glasses? Ready, please?
Thank you. Okay, thanks.
All right. My voice?
Order,
Signing.
order of condition.
We printed it.
Fine.
So we just discussed everything that is being proposed.
Okay.
7:15.
On special edition.
My phone number, ditto. So anyways, 25 years ago, we tried to build this property, and there was 10 variances at that time that we were, or should I back up and say I was given that property 25 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to build on it, there was 10 variances. My father happened to be on the Board of Health at the time. The laws had changed subsequently to his discretion, because he thought it would be better for, benefit him, from 100 feet to 65 feet. He changed that law, and it obviously was to benefit him to sell this property. In 2004, apparently he did propose to you guys, it's not on this plan, is it?
On the back of the other plan.
He showed
The
it.
red house, the other. And I don't know why that didn't go further. I don't, for some reason I've blocked that out of my memory, maybe because it's a negative, something I don't want to remember. Here we are 25 years later, we bought the property next door at that same time, 25 years ago,
Mhm.
knowing that it was unbuildable, because we couldn't build on it, who's gonna build on it? And it made that our property, prime property, because we knew that. We've offered to buy it from him a few times. I don't know what his issue is, I don't know what the problem is, but.
Neither here nor there, though. The point is, and I was just explaining that to her, is the laws have changed since then.
Yes.
From the 100-foot setback to now it's
Because he
65,
changed them.
which makes the lot a buildable lot. And our issue is, and it's probably, there's nothing, I don't think there's anything we can do about it, is the change of setbacks for a personal gain. When it wasn't buildable 25 years ago, we bought the property next door knowing that it wasn't a buildable lot, and the owner of the property was able to change laws.
In his benefit.
And for his benefit, and we're out of our privacy. This house is gonna go right next to my driveway, and I'm not real excited about it, needless to say.
Where there's another issue there at that point, because there's some,
Well, that
But
doesn't,
you had an order of conditions, you had an order of conditions for the previous one. Then it just never got built, as far as I understood.
Right, well, there was a,
So there's an order of conditions issued, then they
that's what
had
we're
a
closing
permit.
out tonight, correct?
Somebody had a permit to build on it before.
Back in 2004.
Back in
the owner of the property,
2004.
the owner of the property, which is my dad.
Okay, so he did, and for some reason he didn't, so he could have at that
Yeah,
time.
they wouldn't have issued.
So this, and the 100-foot setback from the wetlands, that hasn't changed, that's.
He changed that when he was on the Board of Health.
the 100-foot setback is still,
Maybe a septic setback, I
For
don't.
for new construction, maybe. I don't know, I don't go back to the history of when that was changed from.
But I know the 100-foot from the wetlands, that hasn't changed, that's been in the regs since the
Right, and it
70s.
would be changed by town meeting. It wouldn't
Yeah.
be changed by an
Board of
individual.
Health,
And
yeah.
I don't know, but I think.
Oh, right, no,
Board of
it definitely went through town meeting and everything. It wasn't like he just said, I'm changing it. He definitely went through.
Health- They use Title V in Carver, I think, don't they, for septic, as far
Yes,
as I know.
yes, and they have.
So
even-
it's only the 50 for septic.
Right.
You know what I mean, setback, so that, I'm not
So
sure.
that's been a buildable lot
It
for,
has been, yeah,
And
so
maybe
it is
the
built.
changes for septic requirements through the Board of Health might have changed, but.
Right, but I think they use Title V in Carver, so it
Right,
would
but
be
well, I mean,
50.
there could have, like, there could have been local regulations that were changed throughout
Correct.
the years, you know,
Septic
individual
bylaws, yep.
towns have with new construction
Right.
saying you
Oh,
need to
okay.
keep so many feet.
Correct.
But like you said, Title V.
Right, right. So as far as, as far as I know.
But yeah, they wouldn't have issued an order of conditions if
Right.
it wasn't approved. They would have,
Was the septic in the same spot, the old one?
No, it was actually, in a worse spot, it was closer.
Oh.
It's just, the house was closer and everything
Oh,
was
right,
closer and
right.
it was up on the, up on the hill, that way.
Yeah, so I'm not sure why the first your father didn't build on it originally.
I don't know, it's kind of a bitter situation, because I was given that property 25 years ago as a wedding present. Told the town of Carver, told everybody in town, I gave my daughter this piece of land. But then there's issues that, lines have changed, and that's a whole other issue, it doesn't have anything to do with you guys, but we're gonna have to go with, talk to the surveyors with that. We talked to this gentleman today, who was very kind, with, the lines have been changed.
I guess
They
that's a
made-
civil matter.
They made a mistake.
You mean lot lines?
Lot
Lot
lines, he
lines.
changed those. He had his surveyor come to me and say, the lot's changed.
Oh,
It's not what it was when you bought it. Well, I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't have access to my garden. You saw my garden today, you were all there, I saw you, I was here, I was there.
Right.
And,
What we thought has been ours for 25 years, the first road going down was our access down to the garden and the goats, and we've had chickens down there.
that
because of the
driveway.
Now that is
washouts.
pushed way up towards our driveway, and we don't even have access to the bottom of the hill.
But,
I don't know if you noticed the American white cedars planted down in kind of a row, down between the two roads.
Yeah.
That's what I've believed for 25 years to be my property line. And Shore, Nims, and Bartlett at the time had done the surveying and engineering there, and where their stakes were, and I know where the corner is, and where there used to be a 10-inch oak with a 20-penny nail in it that they used as
So-
benchmark. I know this really doesn't have anything to do with you.
Yeah, no.
And we don't even need to discuss it, but, I mean, it's another matter that we're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the.
Right.
But, 'cause
Well,
that changes setbacks and
So
everything
are
else.
you disputing the,
I think
the-
he's putting the whole
the lot?
property line?
No, so what
Property
was
line
happening
now?
was a property line was staked incorrectly, as even reported to them by the surveyor who staked it. We staked it, as per recorded plan. So the previous person who staked.
like, we have the
their
original,
lot,
when we built the house, we have
When they
the
built
10-inch
the lot,
oak, we have it
was
written.
a long time ago, staked the lot incorrectly, reported that they staked it incorrectly. The angle,
They came to me
surveying terms,
2
the
years
angle
ago.
was turned and everything else. When we staked it
who
correctly.
did the original surveying?
Survey, survey.
Oh,
so it's
Shore,
kind
Nims,
of a
and
little
Bartlett.
sliver off, basically.
Right,
Yeah.
so what they thought they
Shore,
owned
Nims,
based
and
off
Bartlett.
the old survey
Oh.
is not in reality what they own.
But they're saying now, but the paper says it is. I mean, it says it right on here, what,
Yeah.
this is from 1993. So
you-
with that being
so you
said-
figured nothing was ever gonna get built.
Well, no, because he gave it to me, and then he reneged because he owed taxes on it, and so I said, well, we'll buy this lot, and then that was a whole nother story. We bought that lot, but we still knew where our lines went.
I know,
He
but-
planted these cedars down the strip,
You know, they got buildings.
We have access down there, and you
You know
talk
what I
about the
mean? No,
washout,
just-
what you guys saw the other day from the washout, that's nothing. We've had washouts there. We've been maintaining those two roads, trying to keep them so that we can drive our vehicles down there. 6 feet, well, I say 4 feet deep, pretty significant in one storm. Like, it's crazy washouts to protect the pond.
And we've corrected them and put down wood chips and that sort of thing to be able to utilize it.
But there's wood ducks down there, there's a lot of animals down there in that pond,
Are
Sarah?
you calling it a pond, are you calling it a drainage easement, or,
Vernal
because
pool.
the old maps say drainage easement, doesn't say any
And
really
then-
wetlands or,
Well,
Sarah
we
came
were
up-
calling it a wetland.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
plan that was done in 2004 shows it as a drainage easement and an isolated
And
wetland, and it was flagged as a isolated wetland. So that's why, if it was just a drainage easement, we would
Right,
be
right.
less
When you-
likely to be here.
Yeah.
Right.
It would just be, there's lots of drainage easements that we don't have to come to conservation.
I mean, there's fish in there, there's ducks in there, there's
Yeah.
lots of tadpoles, and I know Sarah Hewens has been out there.
But anyways, we just wanted to bring that to your attention while we're here. With this going on, we're not real excited about having neighbors, no offense, I mean,
It's not even that, it's changing our whole world. It's something that we've had for 25 years, that we built, with our blood, sweat, tears, and this is what we had, and now they're saying, no, this is different.
our property lines changed, and
Which
now we're gonna have
changes our
neighbors, and it's like-
property, because we can't access, we can't access a good quarter of our, probably 2/3 of our, 1/3 of our property, because of somebody's mistake. Well, that again, doesn't have anything to do with you guys, but
I wonder if you have any recourse.
I have 10 variances here that I was
That's
proposed,
what
and
I was
Yeah,
thinking,
have you
because-
recourse with the people that did the survey originally?
I don't know how it works, I'm gonna have to get a lawyer apparently and sort it out.
Yeah, the title insurance,
Yeah, I
somebody
would
messed
think so.
up, and somebody,
Where's the, and when we tried to build, there was 10 variances through the town. One of them was a 25 foot retaining wall that we were gonna be responsible for life.
is that not on your property anymore?
It was, well, no, when we were trying to build on that
Oh,
lot.
okay.
When we were trying to build on that lot, I just
But
had
you
it.
built a retaining wall for this, and now it's not even on there.
Is the plan that's shown on the reverse side of that the house that you were trying to build?
No, this is the 2004 plan.
Oh, okay.
This
I
was
see.
back in 90, 92, 93.
All right. And is that the same scale?
No, this was blown up. This was on a smaller sheet that we got from the building department, so it was kind of fit to
All
the
right,
page. type.
because that's a much larger home.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's larger and you can see, you know, it's much. like
Mr.
I-
Crawford's a
my
little
point earlier on
irrational.
was It's much closer.
Yes.
See, this is where's my easement line comes right through here, and that's where the house is. Versus, you know, a pretty big separation. for what Kevin's
That one
proposing.
has the same lot lines that you're using.
It's the same lot lines. It was
Oh.
just in what was happened in the field
Right.
was staked differently.
Huh.
Well, it's located
It
100
was
feet.
just a surveyor's error. So.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad for them. They all of a sudden they build lot line and now it's gone.
Apparently, we're gonna have to get a lawyer, which is unfortunate. You know, it's gonna become a messy situation. I offered to buy this property for my father in December, and he got up and walked away from me. I offered him cash, and he got up and walked away from me, and I don't understand the issues. My mother tells me she's from a nursing home, he's losing it, so something's not right. I don't think it's a very good, situation, but 70 years old, he's getting old, he says. I don't know. But what we were facing 25 years ago, I feel should be compliant, you know, now, today. Why is it different? Why is it okay to build now when we couldn't do it? We had the house, we had the loan, we had everything, but we couldn't do it. Thankfully, because you know what?
Wasn't
It's a
around 25
lousy,
years ago.
it's a lousy
It
lot.
was a lousy
It's
lot.
a lousy
The
lot,
next
so I
door,
thank
where we
God
live now
that
is a beautiful lot.
Yeah.
we
and,
cleared that lot, by the way. We saved you or whoever a lot of money. We cleared, our baby's hanging from trees.
That's why all the vegetation there is very young,
Yeah.
Because we
because
cleared
we
that,
planned on
building
building
a
that.
house.
And
He gave it to me, and so we
we
went to
cleared the
town.
lot, and I don't know if you've noticed a berm towards the pond, or the drainage easement, there's a berm that he must have had pushed up. But we had cleared it, and we were ready to build, and we came to the town, and we had 10 variances that we were gonna have to be responsible for, and it just made it, and fortunately, our bank,
Said
who was
no.
gonna finance us, came and looked at it, and they said, no way, we won't do that. And so we ended up buying the lot next door, which worked out just fine.
Which he didn't want us to, but we did.
Beautiful lot.
Yeah, yeah.
It is,
It
it's a
is.
great
Nice
piece of
spot.
property,
But
we love it
we
there.
need access to the rest of our lot, which is down the hill, and that's a huge problem.
Well, I think that you probably, if I recall correctly from looking today, I think you still have one of the driveway closest to your house that goes down to your.
We used to have that before they changed the line.
The line is-
used to go
Where I
between
saw
those
the,
two.
where I saw the marker today that showed the
I think
corner,
yeah.
seemed to be between the two driveways. No?
No,
Am I
that's
wrong?
where it should be, because that's where he planted all those trees, and that's where it says right here, it says projected
We lose
benchmark.
both
Both roads. And
driveways
the first road,
going
the road
down.
closest to our property was ours, and it was washing out. And so we said to Dad, hey, would you mind if we put a road on your property? Sure, no problem, you know?
We
Even though-
stopped using that first road because it was too hard to maintain,
Right,
it was
yeah.
too steep.
Okay.
So by going down into
Yeah.
the lot beside us, so water runoff would go that way and then make the turn to go down the hill, it saved a lot of erosion problems. And we had asked him if we could do that, he didn't have a problem with it. And I figured it's gonna be there forever, because I didn't think the
We've
lot
been
would ever
maintaining
sell,
that,
'cause
and
we
erosion
really
is a
didn't think it
problem.
was
It's been a
buildable.
problem for 25 years, and we've been trying to protect the pond and protect, you know.
My garden's down there, and
You don't want it filling up with
we've had
sand.
big storms where all the sand has just washed my garden right out. And I've had to push everything back up and redo it and rework everything,
If you
and
notice the color of the soil, it's black, it's not sand. But it takes a lot of work to do that, to keep that sand from washing down, because it washes down.
Right. Well, you know, as you said, the way the laws are now, the lot is buildable.
Yeah.
And, you know, no one likes to lose privacy that they've had forever.
Right.
I guess if there's any solace you can take is that the house is almost as far away from your house as it can be without encroaching into the 65-foot,
Right.
given the shape of the lot and the water that's on it. And it's a relatively small footprint for the house, even though it's gonna be 2 stories high, but it's a relatively small footprint. So, you know, if whatever path you take from civilly and whatever, who knows where that will end, but, you know, the way the plans are drawn now, it is a buildable lot.
Yep.
And the gentleman who showed us their plan tonight showed us something that is acceptable
Mhm.
as far as what we have control over.
Right, right.
So,
All right, just had to speak our piece.
all right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we need a motion to approve the NOI on One Crow's Nest Road, please.
Motion.
Well, order, yeah.
All right. We have a motion to approve. Do we need a second? All right. We have a motion to approve and a second to approve the NOI for One Crow's Nest Road. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No? Passed unanimously. All right. Our next hearing.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
All right, our next hearing is 7 Pleasant Street. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw that a public hearing will be held at 7:30 PM on Wednesday, June 7th, in Meeting Room 1 at the Carver Town Hall to hear the request for determination of applicability, an RDA, filed by James DeCarly to determine, A, whether the areas depicted on plan and/or map referenced are areas subject to jurisdiction of the Wetlands Protection Act, or whether the proposed work is subject to the Wetlands Protection Act, and whether the area and/or work depicted on the reference plan is subject to the jurisdiction of any municipal wetlands ordinance or bylaw of the town of Carver. The project is located at 7 Pleasant Street, Carver, Massachusetts, map 30, lot 5-BEN-R. All interested parties are invited to attend. Hi,
How are you?
fine, thanks, how are you?
How are you?
I'm sorry, this belongs to the last, do we have the maps from the last?
Yeah.
And do we have something for the new?
Yeah, we don't really have a real official survey. But this was
Crow's
the piece
Nest.
of the old plan, and that was basically that's where the pool's from, but we don't need that.
Okay,
So we
All right,
don't
I
have
haven't
like any
looked at
kind
it,
of fancy
so-
survey plan, but
all right.
it's in,
Okay,
behind the
so-
house,
Hmm.
in the lawn.
So wetland here,
That's wetland there, yep. And
and
there's all,
pool,
forested here, and then this is flat,
yeah,
and this is all lawn,
okay,
and the pool's going right behind the house.
and proposed well,
Yeah.
okay. Did you walk the site?
I did walk the
Okay, then
site,
you can explain
but I
it to
want to show it to
Alex.
Alex. Just have a 20-foot diameter.
24.
24-foot diameter pool above ground that they're going to put right behind their home. There are wetlands on either side. But this is all grass going all the way back here. Well manicured lawn with nice manicured edging shrubs and
And the only wetlands to the left?
There's
wetlands
one
to-
left and
to
right.
either side, but they're all like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I see it,
down
okay.
there, yep.
All right.
I think this was the old original plan, so the pool was
Right.
right in there.
So the question really before the board is
It's the 100 foot's right here, right?
Yeah.
to allow the pool.
Okay,
And
and it's out of the 65 foot and
it's out of the 65
So
foot.
this would be,
It's-
Peg forgot to give me the determination, but this would be a negative determination.
Right.
Pretty much saying that there, yes, there's wetlands there, but no, it's not gonna have any impact.
Okay, very good.
oh, impact, okay,
And
So it's a negative determination. I'll have to have you sign it, so you can see it.
okay.
And this would, after the installation of the pool, there would be construction of a small deck.
Yeah, that would be my next question if it was approved. Once the pool is installed and I apply for a building permit, do I have to go through this all over again to have a deck installed?
Why don't we do the deck?
Hmm?
Why don't we include the deck?
Well, we can,
Oh, we talked
the
about
best
that,
bet.
because it was gonna be a deck right next to the,
Basically like a 12 by 14 deck
right,
off the side, just
Right.
like a little wraparound deck.
yes. And also there were other considerations due to the fact that this was a medically
Yeah, I have a letter here.
Asked for-
This was actually a grant, this pool was a grant that was given to my daughter by the Edwin Phillips Foundation. She just has polycystic kidney disease. So this pool was actually given to us in a grant for therapy. So we would need to build a deck,
Right,
just to go up
And
and
that
down.
doesn't really make the pool that much bigger.
no,
because,
and
I mean,
it still
in
wouldn't
line,
encroach
still
on the
in same
65.
And it still
Right.
wouldn't encroach, right?
Right,
So we're still within the,
yeah,
all right.
yeah, so.
Right.
so I
Modify
think
the
I would like to
RDA
go
or-
For a building
What's that?
permit
Just
for the deck, because I mean,
I would assume so.
Yeah.
But the only thing we'd be doing is just digging for the footings, that's really it.
so I'll talk to Richard and we just say that we signed off on the deck
Okay.
part of it.
Right,
Yeah.
modified RDA.
Is this,
is
wait a
what
minute, is the deck in this description?
That's why.
Well, actually,
It has to,
the word pool is not in the description either.
oh,
It's based on, depicted on plan.
it says depicted on the plan?
It says depicted on plan.
And what's on the plan? Do we have a deck
Where
on the
the
plan?
areas depicted on plan or map referenced are areas subject to jurisdiction, so.
Well, this would be the plan.
Okay, can we include the deck on the plan tonight, so we don't have
Well,
to
it
make
is
them?
on there.
It's on there?
Yep.
No.
It's not?
No, that's a separate deck. That's a deck that's
Oh.
already off the
Oh,
house.
you need the deck,
That's
okay.
got-
So
The
can we
the
have
deck
the-
would be.
It would be,
Surrounding,
it would be
yeah.
a deck that would be
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
attached to the pool,
Yeah,
right
that we
on-
would,
on-
Add that tonight so that it's all included and we don't have to do it again at a separate,
Yeah.
is that okay with you guys?
Throw it on.
Yeah, I mean,
Because he just
Yep.
has to request it and
I
put
think
it,
if
add
it's,
it on.
if it's tracked, maybe a motion to file, I don't wanna speak, just
No.
a
No, go
motion to
ahead.
file like a negative with modification to the plan
Okay.
as,
Right.
Yeah,
that's my suggestion,
Okay.
if
Okay.
anyone,
yeah,
Yep.
perfect.
however you
Works.
guys
So,
think.
we'll issue the negative determination, just add that as a
Negative
modification.
Can add it.
determination considering the
Yeah, good
modification.
idea, okay, so then it's on record that
All right.
includes the deck.
Then is there
oh,
anyone
great, thank you.
here to,
I know,
Talk about it.
neighbors, anybody want to come up?
all right.
None?
Okay.
So I need a motion for a negative determination at 7 Pleasant Street with the revision to the plan to include a deck. It's around half the pool or not even?
12 by 14?
12
I
by
think,
14
yeah.
deck on one side of the pool for the therapy, for the child of the homeowner.
Okay, so include.
All right, so I need a motion.
Motion?
Good
All right,
idea.
and a second, please.
Second,
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve, or to have a negative determination on 7 Pleasant Street with modifications to the plan. All in favor?
aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No? It's approved unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you, I
Thanks
appreciate
very
it.
much.
Good, and a negative determination is a good thing.
Good. Well, that's good, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks very much. All right, now we have
Yeah, that's a good
continued
idea, Alex. So that's smart.
hearings
Yes.
All right.
from our last meeting. Mr. Belbin?
So, can you see?
Do you have a voice?
Kinda.
He's losing his voice the other day when I saw him, in laryngitis.
I have the green cards. I don't know which one you're taking first, so
Let's see.
5:45?
Let's see, we had the.
It's the after the fact is the first one.
Yeah,
the after the fact for
is
the
the
pool.
first one?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So the only thing I want to say about that is that the people that did the engineering plans for these, I specifically told them to keep it away from 100 feet because I know the laws for that. And on the back side of the pool, facing the wetland areas, we didn't put a deck that went around the whole thing to keep it away from as far as we could, and we have rocks there and plantings and the fence line around it. When we came to conservation, because we did go to the conservation agent at the time, she requested to put silt fence around the whole thing, all right, and some hay bales, and had no problem. She just said, just put it on your plan and you'll be good, and don't worry about it. And we did. The wetlands was delineated from the swampy area back there and not from the drainage ditch. That's what they did. There was no intent to violate any bylaw here for the conservation. And really, that's it. I actually brought pictures that we actually took when we were building it, just to let you know that we limited the amount of trees that we got cut. If you guys want to take a look at these, I'll pass them around.
Okay.
All right, just to keep them away. That was already a grassy area over there anyways, because of our septic system is toward the right, near my lot line there. Fencing was installed, and silt fence was put around it. You can kind of see a little bit on this picture here, that we did put it up, and we put hay bales down the end. I don't have pictures of those, but we did everything that we could do to protect the wetlands, even though, like I said, we didn't go to conservation. We built the house, we know that we're within the 100-foot and the 65-foot barrier of the wetlands. I try to protect it as much as I can of what we do. The pool that was built, it's a gunite pool, and we haven't had any problems with it. No problems with erosion or anything, even when we were building it. The only thing I have to say is that we even took into account filtration. We don't use a sand filter or a DE filter, we use a cartridge filter. That limits the amount of discharge out to anywhere. When I close the pool, I drain down all of the chemicals out of it, so there's nothing in it at all. When I have to drain it, I do have to drain it below the areas, but there's no chemicals in it. When I test it, there's nothing. No chlorine, you name it, there's nothing in it, because I know. Like I said, I live in Carver, and I like their bogs, and I don't want to do any damage to their bogs or the riverway there at all. So, like I said, there was no intent of it. I mean, the pool's been fine, and like I said, my kids are in the pictures because, like I said, hey,
I'm looking at them.
listen, yeah.
Well, I would
mean,
imagine if I was a kid and
Pretty
I was
much-
putting in a pool, I'd be pretty excited too.
I know. Yeah, it was deep. But, like I said, it's far enough away from our septic system, so there's no issue with our septic system. And, like I said, there was no intent, so, if
So,
any
but-
questions
but-
about it, just please.
But going from the drainage instead of the swamp, it does put it within the 100 feet? Is that what you're saying? I mean, your original, it was 100 feet away from the swamp, right?
Yeah, from the original plans
Right.
here, it was like 95 where the fence line would be.
Okay.
And then from the fence line in, like I said, we took out that, because it shows the orange is the decking around it and everything, so, and when in, like, no, we didn't want kids running around the whole pool.
Right.
All right, because you're gonna slip and fall and whatever, and.
Okay.
So, like I said, we put the rocks there and.
Yes, I remember
Plantings and
I've seen
everything,
that.
so,
I've seen- remember
and
seeing it.
even, where we did, go down the hill a little bit there, everything's grown back up. I mean, we don't touch, I very rarely go back there to actually, mow back there or anything, because I want it to grow up. And, like I said, it is what it is.
All right. Any
Is there,
questions?
I guess, what plan are we accepting as part of the NOI? Is it what he has right there?
I submitted,
Let's see.
the
Just wanna
old
know
plans.
What's gonna be
that we had.
associated with this NOI as far as plans go?
Show you.
And my suggestion to the commission is, once we finish the work on our property, we're gonna do, for the COC, we'll have all of the delineations redone, so you'll have a complete copy for the next COC when we come back for it, for the driveway and any yard work or anything.
Right.
That you'll have a completed copy there too with it, because I don't wanna have to go back and have a new plan done now, and then a new plan done again, and,
Right.
I mean, to save on cost for me, I mean, this has already cost me enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember all
Yeah.
driveway, the septic, pool.
So basically, what
This first one's just on the pool. The
This is
second
the
one,
second one's for the after the fact one, and then the second one,
wait a minute, this
No,
one's for the.
this is the after the fact.
This one's,
yeah.
yeah, the NOI after the fact, okay.
And then the next one is when you really basically already approved, but then we just didn't
Right, we
say it
couldn't
because
get it,
we were waiting for the
yeah.
subdivision,
the plan.
and it's all for the
We
new
didn't have a
stuff that we
quorum.
looked at.
It was built
Right,
to
okay,
this plan.
that's the second one, okay.
Yeah.
So this is for the new stuff.
We were there, this is
So we
a
already
pretty
looked at the
steep
new stuff
slope
and
going
just
down.
Yep.
This was
Yeah.
very well protected,
I just want to make sure I didn't mess up.
and this is all woods back here, so it really wasn't, you might as well keep this, because
Yeah.
the second,
First,
right.
right.
Thing is about some trees
right.
here and some work he wants to do on
I'm
this
good.
end of the house, so just hold on for that, but this, it was fine. Do we have any other concerns, questions on this?
On this first one, no, I'm good.
All right, very good. Then can we get a motion, please, to approve the NOI for 26 Gate Street for the after-the-fact NOI?
Okay, a motion to approve the after-effect NOI on 26 Gate Street, DEP SE 126-545.
Yep.
All right, need a second.
Second that?
We have a motion and a second to approve the after-the-fact NOI for 26 Gate Street. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Approved unanimously. All right, moving on to our next continued hearing. This is for 26 Gate Street as well, DEP number SE 126-543. And this is the new NOI for some work to be done on a driveway and some trees that are a danger to the home. Mr. Belvin?
Okay.
Wait a minute, does that include the second story? Sorry.
It's in here, yeah.
So this
It
one,
is in
this
there,
one we
okay.
really
Yeah.
have actually, he's already actually presented.
I'll present it
Do us-
again. I'll be
Yeah.
quick.
Oh, that's
I'll be
right,
quick.
too. Where'd you reopen
Yeah,
it?
that's why I didn't read it again.
Sorry.
That's okay.
That's okay.
My brain hadn't caught up.
It's
yet.
continued, so I didn't have to read the whole thing. Go ahead.
A few different
All right,
ones, yeah.
so, the driveway's starting to fall apart, little sinkholes here and there, and,
It's the new one.
it needs to be replaced, and it's within the 65-foot barrier of the wetlands. That's why I'm here. Along the driveway and behind the house, I should say beside the house, that faces the wetlands there, there's some trees that are starting to get deteriorated, and facing the bog too, that I'd like to take down at some time. I just try to do a comprehensive permit here to cover me for the next, time I never have to come back again.
Come on,
At least
you
that's my
wanna come back.
opinion. All right, but that's toward the wetlands. On the other side of the house, we want to do some more grading because we're getting some water pooling around the inside foundation. We need to drain that away there. Then, what's not on here is that it's out of the 100-foot, but there's a the retaining wall we'll be putting in, it's out of the 100-foot barrier, so it doesn't have to be there, but I figured I'd tell you anyways, let you know in case anyone says something. It's on half of my property, half of the neighbor's property, and,
Yeah, that wall,
yeah,
the wall,
yeah, it's a railroad tie, and it's just falling apart, it's almost 20 years old. So that needs to be replaced
Right
there.
at the corner there, right?
Yeah, right at the corner
right
there,
near the
yeah.
pool, right here.
And, I, just wanna make sure I cover everything here. Oh, we'll be doing an addition, that's our hope, on the second floor, in between the existing house and the addition we have put in there. All it is gonna be a closet for us to extend our bathroom in the main house. And then we wanna extend the porch in front all the way to the other porch and step, and to take away the steps, so it all kind of filters down to one area as walking out. And those will just be sonotubes around that decking area
Right.
there. I think I got that, yeah.
Walking here, and it's raised, and then it goes down steps, and then there's another entryway here that goes up steps.
We may be installing a sprinkler system, but we just had to replace the well, and we're only getting about 6 gallons, which is not good. They'd like to 10, so we may have to redo our well again. We're not sure about that. They're gonna come back and give me a price. But sprinkler system's out of the question right now. All right.
You want to include that for future?
What?
Did you want to include that just in case the future gets better with the well, and
Well-
then you don't have to add it in? If you got it in, you might as well keep it in.
You know what, it's within the 200-foot barrier of the Dotton Brook, because it's, the well heads are up beside the second, the mutual driveway that goes up.
Yep.
Our two well heads are about 50 feet apart from each other, and they're both, in my opinion, within the 200-foot barrier.
Oh, okay, so no
Across the
worries.
street, the-
From-
across that part of it?
Yeah,
Oh.
that Dotton Brook that
Yeah,
runs there.
yeah.
If you look on the plan, the dark line, here, the 200-foot barrier, I think I marked them on there.
Yeah,
There. I think the well heads are up there, if I remember correctly.
in this little V at the,
Yeah.
towards the end of your property.
Yeah, I mean, that's that's the sharp hill that goes up like
Yes.
this on it, and they're way up at the top here.
Okay.
So, I mean,
So they-
I don't know personally if they are or not, because I didn't have them delineated here,
Okay.
but,
So he's saying the wellheads are somewhere up in that corner.
yeah. I don't know, I mean, if they have to drill, if the well's already there and they're just gonna drill down deeper or whatnot, do they still have to go to conservation for it, since it's an existing?
And if the only thing there is within is the 200 foot?
Yeah, yeah, it may be. Like I said, it's where this driveway comes up, and it bears to the right when you go up here. It's on that side of the driveway, closest to the roadway.
Oh,
He's talking
Oh,
about
I
the
see.
V of his driveway.
Yeah, toward,
Oh,
Yeah.
out by the
going
street.
toward the neighbors as it goes up, the mutual driveway goes up to the left. I mean, that's right, to the right, going up, sorry. There, it's on the right-hand side of the driveway, in between the main road and the driveway to the neighbor's house.
Okay,
So,
but still within the 200 feet of
it's
the-
still with, I think it is, I don't know, but like I said, had I known that, I mean, we did put irrigation in there, but, I mean, I don't know where it's gonna go at, because we just had it done yesterday.
All right.
They cleaned it out, we put a new one in, a new head, so.
And sprinkler head, that's like a minimal. Once
So-
they're in, they're in, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like a temporary disturbance and they're in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and if it's only within the 200 foot, I mean, that's kind of,
Yeah,
I mean, we
and at that barely.
I could put that, you know, and just add that into the order. I think I listed all the stuff, so I could
Yeah.
add those, but I mean,
Yeah.
that would be.
Like I said, I just found out, had I known this before, I would
I don't
have
see why-
put it in with it.
I know, that's what I'm saying, why don't you just add
so-
something
Yeah,
in
we'll
there
just-
and
I'll add
call it
that,
a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put something, I'll add it into the order, and that way you don't have to come
Okay.
back. for
Yeah.
that.
Alright.
That would be silly. to
Okay.
come back for
Yeah,
that.
that's crazy.
If they have to dig up, and this is one of the things that they did say, they may have to dig up from the well all the way to the house, I will come back to conservation for that, no questions asked.
Okay.
All right, if it's just the well itself that they're gonna dig down to, okay, but if they're gonna actually do any other digging that goes through,
It's not on the plans. That's why.
the well
it said-
isn't.
Where does your water come into the house now?
the
It comes into the
driveway.
front of the house, right underneath the
brook
the
is over
farmer's
there.
porch.
Okay,
So
It's
Okay.
somewhere in this V.
it'll be in the front of the house, it comes up, and it goes, basically a straight shot.
All right.
Same with the electric, is all in the same,
okay.
up there.
So it's, I mean, all right, it's within the 100 feet, but just barely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Oh, and the other things, I'll just finish up, because I don't think you're here, but, what I did say is that, when we first built our house, we had dry wells put in on the four corners, but when we did the addition, it wasn't needed, they didn't say anything about it, we didn't put them in. I'm gonna put two dry wells in underneath the, where the driveway comes up, in the back, the garage area, right over there, so it gets the stuff from the house in the back, and it also gets the stuff from the garage, it'll go into these two dry wells, to the dry wells there, and, just gonna put rocks over it. I mean, it's not gonna be used as a driveway, I have my boat back there, it's just more, because it's all muddy and everything, and just to control it.
Now, is that in this description too?
Uh,
The dry wells?
Yes.
Yeah, I
with
put the
drain
dry
well.
wells.
I think
Yeah,
you did put
yeah,
that,
right there it
yes.
is,
Yeah.
okay, I see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So right now, it's, all it is dirt.
Yes.
It's dirt, and, I mean, just to make it cleaner there.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm done.
Okay.
All right. So, what, I don't know if you were here for original talk about this, but basically underneath, this is 2 floors here, and this is a 2-car garage heading out the driveway. And he's going to put a trench across here and put a metal grate or metal.
Yeah, right now, it's just a cement piece that goes, and it doesn't capture anything.
Yeah.
It mostly captures leaves.
Right.
For it right now, but the guy that's doing the driveway, he's gonna put in the metal grate in front of it. And like I said, it'll make it look nicer, and it will also
Help drain
to
where you're putting the dry wells.
right, where the dry wells is. And the ones I've had in there since I built the house, they've worked awesome. I've never had an issue with them percolating up or anything, because I put a ton of stone around each one, so
Right.
it drains out well.
Right, and also there's a big tree that was dangerous to the home.
Yes,
That's
I
on
remember.
on the edge here. This is a slope going down too. There's no
Be careful where you
grade here,
drop
but
it.
it's a slope going down to the bog.
rock.
And the tree is right
No, I
about
meant
here,
the tree.
between these two back decks.
Was gonna start, there was actually, when we built the house, there was an order, a condition that was put that we can't touch 35 feet, if I remember correctly, from the wetland itself.
Okay.
So I just wanted you guys to be aware of that, from the wetland. It says, if I remember correctly, it's from the wetland, which would be the bog area there, that we couldn't touch 35 feet up.
Yep.
That's not all our property there, it's.
Right.
But like I said, I don't want to take trees down because it's a good buffer
Yeah, but
from
that one's
the neighbors and
dangerously
everything.
close to your house.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, it was leaning.
Yeah, it was
So-
almost leaning.
And actually, there was another
Yeah.
one further out the
Yeah.
drive that was leaning that we noticed too.
Yeah, I
We
just
talked
noticed
about.
there's a pine tree that's dead too. So before I do any cuttings or anything, I'll call the conservation agent.
Okay.
A silt fence, I'll put a silt fence from this road all the way up. When it's done, I'll give her a call, let her know, hey,
Yeah.
it's done, and like I said,
All right. Any other questions?
No, I'm good.
All right, can I get a motion, please, to approve the current NOI for 26 Gate Street, DEP number SE 126-543?
Motion?
We have a motion, a second, please?
Second?
All right, we have a motion and a second on the NOI for 26 Gate Street. All approved? All in favor?
Aye.
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 And you're all set with NHGSP, the natural heritage.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I said
read
that,
the letter,
yeah.
So he was all,
yes.
that was one of the other reasons why I think we had to continue it too, because we hadn't heard back from them.
Right.
That was the first time, I think, yes.
That was the first
Yeah.
time,
Right.
yes, yeah.
Are there conditions?
On this one, yeah, well, this one actually had the condition that he had to file the after the fact.
Right.
Any
did that.
changes, I listed all the stuff, so I was,
All right,
now I'm
just
gonna
standard.
just add the sprinklers and stuff.
Yeah, at the
Erosion
sprinklers.
controls, Yep,
All right,
yep.
I'm good.
all right, so approved unanimously.
We're good.
All right, very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, welcome.
Did you get the old map back? Oh, do you want your pictures back, Bob? Is there any more?
There,
I know. You don't want your kids to get upset.
All right, which one's the old one, which one's the new one?
I think that's the new one. This is the old one. This is the old.
That's the
Okay,
old
so
one,
this
yeah.
is the new one.
That's the new one, okay.
All right, so that
This is the
covers
old one.
that.
All right, so we're done with all the hearings. So let's go back to where we were, business.
Yep, you're gonna read the minutes.
Well, let's go to business. Cole Property Site Visit.
Oh, okay, yep. That is on the 20th
Oh, okay.
with the Audubon
Oh,
at
okay.
11. Can you go?
Well, I'm just wondering, last day of school, I think, is the 20th or 21st. I'll look.
That's my birthday.
The 20th?
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Can you go? Do you have to
birthday.
be, are you gonna be eating cake?
That's, well, if you bring cake, I'll
All
go.
right, I will, I promise. I'll tell Nick to bring cake.
Site visit at 11,
Site
June 20th.
Okay,
Here's the,
Yep.
Oh, man,
I reach out.
11 a.m.
okay.
all right, and we had letters, we sent letters out to the.
Yep, I just wanted to let you know, you got all the abutters for that.
Abutters.
Yeah, we sent that letter out.
It was a good letter.
And
We
were on
looked
the
at it
front page
last
of the
time.
newspaper.
Yes, I saw that too. And the last thing, a possible land donation off Indian
Oh, yeah.
Street?
I
What's
talked
that?
to Clark Griffith's daughter, and he owns a piece of land adjacent next to Camden Trail off Indian Street.
Okay,
It goes right from the Camden Trail where there's already little trails and stuff, behind it and
Nice.
out to the river. So I think he's gonna donate it to us.
Nice.
It'd be nice, we'd love to have that, because you could extend the trails
To the-
All right.
yeah.
and stuff, so that's about, yep, so she's working on that.
oh, okay,
So that would be nice, yep.
that would be nice.
Yeah, so she's gonna get somebody to drop a deed and, do like we did with the Cedar Swamp parcels, you just
Yeah.
have to.
Is it possible to get a map for next time we meet,
Yeah,
so we can see
I
it?
have a little one for, yep, I can, yep,
Oh, nice, okay.
yeah. Yeah, so that would be great.
That would be nice.
And then the only other thing, I think is the COC, right, for Crow's Nest?
And we have to read the minutes, we have to approve the minutes.
Approve the minutes,
So
okay.
you do that first one.
Right.
Bless you.
I have no comments on the May 17. I mean, wasn't here, but I didn't.
On the
see
minutes?
it, Yeah.
I have a couple of small ones. In the,
This is the minutes. Oh, no.
What? Oh,
He says corrections in the minutes. Everybody gets upset.
in the very top where it lists who was here, it should be Alex Lovejoy and Tim Dempsey were not present. That was.
Oh, which one was that one? The last meeting? Oh, yeah, you're right. What did you put?
It should be were, not was.
Oh, it was
Okay.
not. So picky.
No, it's good.
Yeah, it is.
Under business, the first thing, this change also changes the number of members needed for a quorum from 5 to 3. It's really from 4 to 3. Because we
Right,
need
so
4 out of 7.
would have been, yeah.
4, not
right,
5.
Right.
All right?
Yep.
And then, under COC requests, in the second line, it says "the" had done an RDA already. It should be "they."
Oh, they had done.
That's all I saw.
Okay.
Apologize for.
All right, so I need a motion to approve the minutes with changes.
make a motion to approve the minutes with changes?
Second? Are you good?
Oh, yeah, second, sorry, I thought you were second.
No, I can't.
I was gonna say, yes, I was just reading that, yes, I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
Vote on this, because he wasn't here.
Oh,
A meeting,
minutes?
and minutes you
I
can.
think minutes you can.
Minutes you can.
Oh, okay.
no.
No,
I thought
No.
because he wasn't
No?
here.
I mean, North
No.
Attleboro, I know we didn't, if you weren't.
Well, you
there,
have to abstain.
Yeah, you just can't vote on the minutes.
Oh, okay.
And then next time you do have a quorum, you can vote on the minutes.
All right, so,
Actually, yeah, we can't even,
that's right, we can't vote on them
we can
because,
memorialize the changes or the suggested changes, but.
right,
Oh,
Yeah, that's
so-
right.
So they
That's a
wouldn't,
good
they
point.
don't officially get approved? It-
Correct.
unless
Right.
it's a form.
right,
Correct, yeah.
Right.
right.
Yep.
All right, so,
So we'll
Maybe
pass it till
make the
next.
changes and bring them
Make
back.
the changes and bring them back,
Yeah.
yeah.
have 2 sets of minutes to approve.
So just leave it
Um,
for the next time.
COC request, Crow's Nest Road, Lot
Yep.
7.
That was the old filing for Crow's Nest, and basically no work was done, so we just have to close out that old file number, 126333, so that he could go forward with the new
All right, so I
project. So it's
need a
just
motion.
basically signing it.
I need a motion to close the Crow's Nest Road COC request, SE 126-333.
So
Which
moved.
one's this?
That's the
We have
old
a-
Crow's Nest one
Oh,
with
the
no
old
work
one.
was
We have a
done.
motion, we need a second.
Second?
All right, we have a motion and a second to close the COC on 126-333. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Approved unanimously. And
All right.
I think we're done. I need a motion to adjourn, please.
Motion to adjourn, please.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? None? Approved unanimously. Thank you and good night.